Beep, boop, boop, boop. We will play more of the movie game here on WFMU. FMU, you're on the air.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Hi, it's Craig Cooper over at Radio Hut at the NC.
I'm sorry?
It's Craig Cooper.
Craig Cooper.
Radio Hut.
Over at the Radio Hut store.
Over at the NC, yeah.
The NC's, that's the Commons. Newbridge Commons?
Exactly, yes.
Radio, man. Radio Hut, I have had... I mean, I don't know if people out there have had the experiences I've had with Radio Hut.
Great service, wide selection, understanding staff.
Well, I might go a different way.
What?
I might go a little different way with the Radio Hut experience. I've had problems, but maybe whatever. What can I do for you tonight, Chris?
Well, we'll iron that stuff out later. I can maybe give you some coupons or something. But I want to run something by you right now. It's a great opportunity for you and your show.
Okay.
Radio Hut has a great product that we're promoting, and love to do a little tie-in / giveaway on your show.
Okay.
You have that marathon coming up, is that right?
We do have the WFMU marathon's coming up next week for 2 weeks.
Wow. Well, this would be a perfect kind of giveaway for you to give to your listeners, and I know you won't say no.
Okay.
I tell you what it is.
What is it?
You strapped in?
I'm strapped in. I'm sitting down.
Okay. Do you have your helmet on?
I'm
kidding about that.
Okay. I literally don't have a helmet on. But...
Okay. Well, you ready for the HutPod?
The what?
The HutPod.
The HutPod.
Yeah.
What is the HutPod?
Well, for starters, it's going to revolutionize the personal stereo business.
Okay.
You know about the... I don't even want to name these two products, but I'll have to just for comparison's sake. You've heard of the iPod, right?
Yes, I've heard of the iPod.
And the iRiver, it's kind of like an iPod also. It's another company.
Okay.
The HutPod is sort of like that, but way better. More options, better sound quality.
Really?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I mean, iPods, I guess, are wildly popular.
Well.
And I guess, is this Radio Hut's entry into the portable, you know...
It's going to demolish the competition.
Really?
Yeah. Well, this thing features Radio Hut's unsurpassed digital audio technology. And people have been saying that it's the best sound they've ever heard, ever, like on anything, including like stereos.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing is whenever I've listened to some of the stuff on iPods, I can hear a little bit of a difference.
Oh, this is light years beyond.
Wow.
What you've heard.
That's actually very appealing to me then.
Well, we actually introduced these babies back in December, and they just flew out of the store. We just got restocked this past week, and I've got 3 of them to give you to give away on the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 3 different models or 3 of the same?
3 of the same, but there are a bunch of different models, and I do want to say that each HutPod comes with 2 free albums included.
Really,
already
2
on there.
So it's already like loaded on there?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's cool. I mean, do you get to pick the album?
No, they're already on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of stuff's on there?
Well, these 3 have 2 albums on there. Meatloaf, Best of Volume 3.
Okay.
And the
Volume 3?
Yeah.
Wow, that I didn't even know there was a Meatloaf Best of Volume 3.
Oh yeah, and this has great stuff like For Crying Out Loud, Heaven Can Wait, about 3/4 of Dead Ringers on here also.
Okay, so it's a little deeper than maybe the Greatest Hits Volume 1 or Volume...
Well, the stuff's just as good as Volume 1, but it's all, radio, it's all payola and stuff. There's a lot of stuff just didn't get on the radio.
Sure. Okay.
The budget was run dry by that point for him.
Uh-huh.
The other album's called High Dive.
High Dive?
Yeah.
What is High Dive?
By a band called Mother 13.
Oh, I actually had that guy That guy actually was a caller. I did an interview with him a while ago.
It's a great album. You should feel honored to have spoken with him.
But that guy, what was his name? Corey.
I don't know what his name was. I don't know. You also get what I call Coop's Crunchers.
Coop. What is Coop's Crunchers?
Well, Coop is me.
Okay, so what is your name again?
Craig Cooper.
Craig Cooper.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is just sort of like, my personal favorites, so your listeners can get a feel for what I'm all about, So there's like everything from skiffle to black metal on this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Like who's on it?
Oh, geez, like Lonnie Donegan, Mozart, Ornette Coleman, New Riders of the Purple Sage, Deicide, Streisand, Black Label Society, Zach Galifianakis, all kinds of stuff.
Wow! So this actually that is maybe the most diverse collection I've heard about.
Well,
I mean that's really all over the map.
It's great stuff.
And that's called Coop's Crunchers.
Coop's Crunchers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if the people that get it, if they for some reason they don't want that stuff, we have so much great stuff available for download. Beatles, Stones, AC/DC, you name it.
So you actually, because that's another bone of contention I've heard from a lot of people.
Right.
So you can download Beatles onto a HutPod?
Oh yeah.
Because I know that like iPod Beatles, I don't think the catalog is available.
No, you can't get it through that piece of crap. And in the case of AC/DC, you can't download individual tunes. It's got to be the whole album. That's what the band has specified, I guess. But
that you can only download like a full-length AC/DC album.
Not so with the HutPod.
Really? So you can get individual tracks for AC/DC?
Anything you want.
Wow. Well, that's. I got to tell you, I got to say, off the bat, Radio Hut, I've had less than great experiences with Radio Hut.
I can't understand this.
Well, it's the way it's been in the past. I always thought the merchandise at Radio Hut was maybe a little...
Great.
Well, I was going to say inferior, but...
Wait, what?
Well, I'm just speaking for myself. But I got to tell you, this HutPod, it sounds like you guys...
We're doing it right.
Like you've gotten it right. Like you're maybe ahead of the competition a little bit.
I agree with everything you said, with the exception of the word maybe.
Okay, well, I can understand that you seem pretty up on the whole thing. So the HutPod, it's like it's the same kind of unit.
It's real similar, like in terms of like downloading. You would just sort of, log on to any of the Radio Hut cyber channels and hit the download button just like you would on our competition thing, and you're instantly downloading onto the HutPod hard drive. Okay,
so you just pretty much, wow, and you kind of have all of the stuff that you can get on for an iPod, for example, you can get for the HutPod also. In addition, is that like in addition to other things you can't get, like the Beatles stuff?
Oh yeah, and one great thing that we've got what we call rechangeable hard drives.
Now, what is a rechangeable hard drive?
If your hard drive gets too full, you just put in a new hard drive, whether it be 30 gigs, 60 gigs, 90 gigs, 120 gigs, and you're ready for more downloading fun.
So, because that's the one thing I know, iPods come with like,
crap,
like 20 gigs or 40 gig iPods.
Yeah, they're tiny.
And you guys have like gig, like that, like 100,
120,
120.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said they were removable or something?
Oh yeah. The HutPod Mini, that would obviously have less gigs.
Sure.
But the Maxi, has even more.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you can really hold, seems like an endless amount of material then. If you can hold
as much as you want, yeah.
I mean, 120 gigs is like a ton of music. That's, I don't even know if you could hold. I mean, that's like.
It's an A-load, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's. Wow, I don't even know how many songs that would be.
It's a ton.
Yeah.
It's a ton. So, I mean, and the price is right, too, for this stuff.
Well, how much, what is the general price for a HutPod?
Well, like a, standard HutPod would be like, $349, $490 gig. HutPod Junior, $299 for a 60 gig. HutPod Micro, $259 for 30 gig. And the Maxi. That's about $499 for 120 gig.
Wow, but that's a lot of hard drive on that stuff.
Man. I didn't even get into the movie pod yet.
No. Oh, wait, it's like the equivalent of like a video iPod?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay.
It's great. And the shuffler, we got the shuffler also. It's a 30 gig too.
What is the shuffler?
You know how our competition has like the shuffle thing, where it just kind of
bounces all around and plays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing, but better.
How is yours better?
Well, for one thing, the sound quality is just unsurpassed. We have a panel of audio experts who, if I do say, rank the HutPod better than all brands combined.
Really?
Yeah.
So people actually, like experts, are actually doing comparison listening.
Yeah.
And they rate the HutPod. Is that number one?
Oh, by far, yeah.
Okay, well that's cool.
Head and shoulders above all else.
So
say at the panel, yeah.
That's what the panel says?
Yeah.
And this is like you said it's experts?
Yeah.
Like industry experts, like sound engineers and
well, they're experts,
Okay.
Heinrich is at the forefront of the audio technology curve.
And who is Heinrich?
Heinrich Rilpenbach.
I don't know that name.
He's what's called an audio guru.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, what he's called an audio guru?
Yeah.
Because that I actually had that guy on also.
Are you serious? What?
Yeah.
Like it was some sort of what's great in audio sort of interview or something?
Little different
ranking
than that.
Stuff.
Actually, no. It was a little more. He was ripping some guy off, pretending to be German.
Heinrich is German.
I
don't know who you were talking to.
Well, I was talking to a guy. What does he have an accent, like a real thick accent?
Yeah, because he's German.
Yeah, well, I think you might want to
fatherland, as he says.
You might want to press him on that accent then.
Well,
because
having brunch with him tomorrow, I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I will call you back and say you were wrong. I guarantee you.
You guarantee me, huh?
Yeah.
So you've got this guy checking out the HutPods. Now all of a sudden I'm a little suspect of.
Well, it's not just him, you dummy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you dummy.
That's all right.
I got carried away. It's not just him.
Yeah. Who else?
Mark Gastineau.
The football player.
Yeah.
How is he an audio expert?
Well, those ball players, they travel a lot, and when they're off, they go to these clubs, and a lot of those clubs have really good sound systems. So he knows how stuff should sound.
So he knows how it kind of sounds in like a disco or something.
Definitely, yeah. So he knows about the boom and bass and all that stuff,
And that's what the HutPod has.
Oh yeah.
So he's a regular listener to the HutPod?
Well, he's on the panel. Yeah.
And he likes the HutPod.
Of course he does. He ranks it at the top. Like Heinrich.
Now, just as a question, just to play devil's advocate here, these people are not paid experts. These tests are kind of they must be unbiased.
When you say they're not paid, by who? What are you saying?
I'm saying that these people, you have Heinrich, who I know. My personal experience with him is that he usually is getting paid he would probably say anything for money.
Well, we do pay him, but I see him listening to the stuff, and he's got a big smile plastered on his face.
I'm sure he does.
Same with Mark.
The same with Mark.
Yeah.
And is that it for the audio? Those two guys?
Pretty much.
Wow. So you have one guy who is a known con man, and the other guy is a football player. That's
Well,
your that's your panel.
Hey.
Uh-huh. So you
Not liking this dude one bit. Thinking about pulling the offer.
of the three free HutPods?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, admittedly I would like them to give away during the marathon.
You know,
so.
you mentioned that you had some problems with the Hut in the past.
Yeah.
And I do want to mention something that we're very proud of now.
Uh-huh.
Remember in the past you would go into the Hut, you would buy some batteries or something, and we'd ask you for your address.
Yeah, which was always really annoying.
I
just
know.
getting leaned on for your address.
Well, I don't think it was annoying at all, but obviously a lot of people did, and we have stopped doing that.
Well, that's refreshing,
Yeah.
because it really made me not want to shop at Radio Hut.
I know, and we didn't like asking for it either, but so now with getting people's Social Security number, it's a lot easier to get information on them, so it's less hassle for everybody.
Well, now that's just you're soliciting them for their Social Security numbers.
Well, it helps us get to know them on a much more intimate basis.
Yeah, well, see that I would consider a problem.
And through that we can track, where they're going, what they're saying, that sort of thing, what they want to buy. Like you're not much of an olive fan, I guess, right?
I'm not much of a what?
Olive fan.
Olive. What
you
is?
Don't like olives?
Not really. No. Why?
Well, at that Quiznos today, you asked for no olives on your sandwich.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, I did. Wait. I did. How do you know that?
Well, through your SS number, we've been able to track you, like I said.
Through my Social
Where you're
Security
going, what you're
number.
buying, what you like, what you don't like.
Well, that's none of your business.
Well, you know what?
And why is an electronics place? Why does an electronics place care what I eat?
It's 24-hour surveillance, basically. So we can't not know about that. Everything you do. You got to stop singing in the car too. Your voice is not that happening.
You can actually hear me singing in the car.
And see you, yeah.
And see me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's none of.
Well.
That's That's none of your business.
Well, I know it.
How is it your business?
I got to track what my customers want and what they do, etc.
You've got to.
I've got to. I'm carrying on the tradition.
The traditions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just because you've got your. I thought that Radio Hut. I mean, it really makes me want to take back everything. Well, now I really do, especially since you're watching me in my car.
Right.
I thought you guys were on the right track as a company with this HutPod.
We are now.
Which sounded appealing. I mean, the idea of something that seems to be taking the iPod to the next level, where 120 gigs would hold. That would probably hold, 70,000 songs?
Something like that, yeah. It's a lot.
So...
Actually, it's not that much.
What do you mean it's not?
I wish it was, but it's not that much.
Well, how many songs can you hold with 120 gigs?
Well, it's like two hours worth.
Wait, what do you mean?
The hard drive holds 2 hours worth.
No, you said it's 120 gigs.
Yeah.
2 hours. And now, what do you...
And then when you want to put more in, you just take out the hard drive and you put in another hard drive for another 2 hours worth.
Do you know what a gig is?
Yeah. Of course I do, jerk.
Tell me what a gig is. Tell me the amount of a gig. I don't think you do.
Okay. Don't press me, son. I will smash you. A gig is a minute, jerk.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. A gig is not a minute.
I don't know where you went to digital technology school, but At Radio Hut, a gig is a minute.
Well, maybe that's how it is at Radio Hut. But in the real world, a gig is not a minute. So you're telling me that the 120 minutes of the 120 gigs is really just 120 minutes. It's like a cassette tape.
Yeah. So
what do you? So this is a cassette?
What'd you think it was?
I thought you said it was a removable hard drive.
It is. That's what we call them.
What you call what?
The cassettes. For your information, they're not like old time cassettes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, how are they different?
They're painted white.
They're so you
just like the players.
Just like the players. And what? Let me guess. The players. It sounds like you're talking about like an old-fashioned, like an old-fashioned Walkman.
For your information, the Pod 80 series Walkman is not old-fashioned.
The Pod 80,
and that's not exactly what these are.
What are they?
They're painted white.
So that so it is a Walkman
with a swoosh.
What do you mean a swoosh? Sort
of like the Nike swoosh.
Yeah.
But it's different.
How's it different?
It goes the other way.
Oh wow, that's very original. And I guess that's really going to make up the difference when I'm listening to my HutPod. That's a cassette.
Well,
it's like an old-fashioned walk. So you're just repurposing old-fashioned Walkmen and trying to pass them off as. How are they digital?
What do you mean?
Like you said, it was digital.
It's digital technology.
Not if it's a cassette. It's not.
Sure, it sure is.
No, not if it's. That's analog.
What's that?
What's
you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Well, for your information.
Yeah.
The movie pod doesn't have tape in it.
What does it have in it?
It's just a TV.
It's a TV.
It's one of the old Pod 80 wrist TVs. So far, all we do is streaming video.
And what do you mean by streaming video?
You tune into a TV station.
Yeah, that's not. Is that the downloading? When you were talking about downloading,
the cyber channels are great. Yeah,
the cyber channels.
Yeah, you just hit the download button.
Tell me what that download button. Did that download button used to say record?
It still does.
It still does. Yeah. And those cyber channels, I think I know what they are.
What do you think they are?
They're radio stations. That's how you have Beatles songs. So, like with your HutPod,
sometimes you got to wait for them.
What's that?
Sometimes you got to wait for them.
Yeah. So I want to download a beat. Tell me the process of me downloading a Beatles song.
Okay. You got your HutPod.
Yeah.
You tune in to the local Sunday morning Beatles show.
Oh God.
And then you hit record.
And then I hit record.
And then if you got the shuffle one.
Yeah.
Kind of hit rewind or fast forward a lot.
Oh my God! I can't believe that.
I can't believe you have a problem with this.
You can't believe I have a. So you basically are spray painting old Walkmen white.
Not spray paint, you jerk.
What is it?
Yeah.
House paint.
Sort of.
So do they even function? Doesn't that get in the wheels?
Not really, as far as I know. Not these three, anyway. Well, I don't know.
No, these three. You're talking about these things were flying off the shelves in the holidays.
Yeah, and we just got restocked.
You got restocked.
Yeah.
So nobody had any problem with the fact that you were selling them Walkmen that you had painted white.
Define problem.
Nobody returned them.
Define return.
Define return?
Yeah.
They bought a HutPod.
Okay, that happened.
Okay. They went home with the HutPod.
That happened.
They realized that the HutPod was in no way digital.
You can't prove that.
They realized that it was just a Walkman and that these cyber channels were radio stations. Yes? Maybe. And then they went and brought them back.
They decided, on all three accounts, that the technology wasn't for them. They weren't up for it.
So they decided on these 3 accounts.
Yeah.
So you had 3 of these for sale.
Back in December, yeah.
Yeah, and you got 3 of them back.
Right.
And and then now you're looking to give me 3 of them.
Yeah.
Are they the same 3?
No. Yeah, they are.
This is just awful. You know, Radio Hut has not changed one bit. Your dad.
Wait, you know my dad?
Yeah. Well, your name is what again? Cooper?
Craig Cooper.
Craig Cooper. Your dad's name was Jeff Cooper?
Yeah. He used to run this store. But before I say anything else.
Uh-huh.
This is not my father's Radio Hut.
So that's like some kind of, is this like some kind of like cool, this is not your father's Oldsmobile or something? You're trying to be like a, it's like a hip, like Radio Hut's hip now.
No, I'm actually legally bound to say that. My dad sold me the store a couple weeks ago for $1.
Your father sold you this store?
Yeah. He was in deep S hit with the feds.
Uh-huh.
He was selling some illegal stuff out of the back of the store.
Uh-huh. Like what? What kind of stuff?
People.
Wait, what's that?
People.
Your father was selling people?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, to work in Newbridge Quarry.
And how do you sell a person?
You don't want to know the particulars. I'm deeply embarrassed by it myself.
Where were these people coming from?
All over. Canada, Ecuador.
Oh my God, that's
Hawaii.
horrible. From where?
Maine, Hawaii.
Maine?
Yeah.
I don't even.
Oh, it's this whole network. He subscribed to this newsletter too.
What newsletter?
And I told you how to do it.
It
was called The Trafficker.
Oh, that is just.
Yeah.
That.
I know.
So you have distanced yourself from your father.
Well, he sort of distanced himself from a lot of stuff. He's not here right now.
Where is your dad now?
When I say he's gone, I mean he's missing.
Your father's missing.
Yeah.
What happened to your father?
He was attacked by a softball game.
When was he attacked?
In January.
January? This past January?
Yeah.
So a month ago, your father was attacked by a softball game?
Yeah.
What do you mean a softball game?
Well, he was at this game, and he was being real belligerent.
Well, first of all, there's a softball game in January?
Yeah.
What is it, like some...
Warm.
What's that?
It was warm.
Okay. So he's being belligerent.
Yeah, he was yelling.
Who was he yelling at?
A woman.
Playing the game?
Yeah.
So he's
charity game.
So he's heckling the game.
He was heckling her.
Okay, he's heckling her.
Yeah. And then last thing I saw, people were dragging him away, beating him up. And last I heard, he was put on a barge.
A barge?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean put on a barge?
He was tied up and put on a barge, and I guess that the barge sailed off or something. Oh, my God, those people were madder than a rattlesnake at a Thai wedding.
Well, what does that mean?
What do you think it means?
I don't know.
No.
Must mean some sort of... It's meant to show how angry.
He was angry. Well, you'd be angry, too.
Now, why was he heckling this woman?
Well, she was going to be his bride-to-be, basically.
Uh-huh.
She was going to be number 6.
Okay.
I'm actually the result of marriage 3. No, wait, 4, 3 or 4. I'm not. I can't even keep it straight anymore.
So you're not even sure how many times. You're not even sure what marriage you were a product of.
He was going through them. Yeah. Well, hear me out. Basically, he got screwed so bad by numbers 1 and 2 that he started doing these prenup things. So he was trying to get Miss Number 6 to sign the prenup that he'd been using with other broads.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't do it. So that's why he went to the game. So it was just standard prenup stuff.
Like what?
Stuff like, wife shall in no case have access to joint bank account without written permission from husband, that sort of stuff. Wife cannot divulge information on husband and or marriage to any party, including family members. Wife shall immediately divulge any and all info to husband regarding person or persons giving wife marital advice.
Yeah, well,
Stuff like that.
That's a little intrusive.
In public, wife shall walk directly behind husband at all times.
What? Why?
Wife shall never argue or raise voice with husband in public or private.
What? Why would anyone want to be married if those were the terms of the marriage?
I don't know. The one she had the biggest problem with, I guess, was wife shall conduct herself in accordance with Islamic scripture at all times.
Now, is your father a Muslim?
Oh God, no.
No?
He just thought that they had the best rules about how to keep broads in line. So
yeah, they have the best rules of keeping broads in line.
She didn't like it.
Well, you can see that the apple has not fallen far from the tree.
You know what?
What?
I gotta say, I pretended like I didn't know that you knew my dad.
Yeah?
You were very near the top of his list.
What list?
His S-hit list. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's.
You rubbed him the wrong way in a big way.
I'll consider that an honor.
Truth be told, I was on there too. I was pretty high.
On your father's list.
I was number 1 for a long time.
And why is that?
Well, he said I ruined his life.
You ruined your father's life?
Yeah, when I came into it.
Wait, when you came in, your father told you that you ruined his life?
Yeah.
When you were born?
Not when I was born. My being born ruined his life.
Well, that's kind of the same thing, but...
No, he didn't tell me it when I was born.
Oh,
That's
no,
what
no.
I thought
Okay.
you meant.
Well, how old were you when... What you just call me a name, right?
Yeah, I called you a jerk.
Yeah, you're really hostile. When did he tell you that you ruined his life? What age?
17.
So he told you at 17.
Said I ruined his dreams of becoming a famous pornographer.
Your dad wanted to be...
Yeah.
Your dad wanted to be a famous pornographer.
Yeah, and because I came in, he was forced to go legit, and I reminded him of his shattered porno dreams at all times.
Ugh. Your dad is a gross guy.
There was also the I-amming thing.
What is the I-amming thing?
Do you know what I-amming is?
Yeah, I do know what I-amming is.
Instant messaging.
I'm amazed you do on one of those, what do you call those computers over there?
Pod 80.
The Pot 80, which for people who don't know is, Pot 80 stands for Pride of the 80s. Right?
It's sketchy, isn't it? It says it all.
Yes, it is sketchy.
I said it's catchy, you dunce.
Oh, I thought you said sketchy.
No, I said catchy.
Because it's very sketchy. Oh, God. We've been drinking a little bit?
Orange Julius.
Oh, okay.
With a little wild turkey in it.
Yeah, there we go. A little wild turkey?
Half wild turkey.
Yeah.
And when I say Orange Julius, I mean just like a little shot of orange juice.
Yeah, there we go.
Orange drink, actually.
Yeah. So, pretty much you're just drinking wild turkey. Like, how big of a glass?
Like a big gulp.
You're drinking a big gulp of wild turkey.
Yeah, it's actually an entire bottle in the big gulp cup.
And you drink an entire bottle of wild turkey, and you just throw a little splash of orange drink in there.
All right, I'll come clean.
What?
The orange drink.
Yeah.
There's not orange drink. It's actually an orange cert that I'm hoping will mask my alcohol breath on their way home.
So you drop a cert in there.
Yeah.
So it's really just you're drinking wild turkey in a big gulp a big gulp cup.
What is this? The Inquisition? What?
No, it's not. I'm just trying to get the picture here of how sad you are.
I'm not sad at all. I'm quite happy now that I...
Well, let's hear more about this IM story you were starting to say about...
Oh, right. Okay. So, basically I found out my dad's instant messaging info and password. You know?
Yeah.
So I signed on as him one day.
Okay. So you sign in as your dad on a computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you do that?
Well, wife number 5.
His wife number 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who he's not with anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he thought that I kind of busted up that marriage.
Uh-huh. Why would he think that?
Well, basically, she was too hot for him. Too young, you know.
And you couldn't stand it.
He's 60, she's 30. Super bod, all natural stuff, you know what I mean?
Ugh. Hearing it come from you is just...
She would work out in the morning.
Uh-huh.
In this thing that was so skimpy.
Yeah. I don't even want
to... It looked like it was made out of 2 mouse hides.
I don't even know what that means, but that's just disturbing. So
you'd have to see it. I actually sold tickets to local kids to watch her.
To watch her exercise.
Yeah, I take them up into my room.
And how old are you at this point?
This is just like 2 years ago.
Which makes you how old?
Then I was 30.
So, that Cooper family is a very sad family.
No, I made some good dough doing that. They would
just selling.
They'd watch from the window, for 5 minutes or however long it took, and
but I don't want to know about that.
They'd go off on their merry way. But basically, I found my dad's IM stuff.
So you log on.
I logged on, and his whole thing was always to IM with Kim when he was at work.
That's wife number 5.
That's number 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, to keep an eye on her. So one day, as a joke, I start IMing Kim as my dad.
Yeah.
Logged on with his info. I start talking about all these kinky things I wanted to do with her as my dad.
As your dad. As a joke, you did.
As a joke, it's hilarious. It gets funnier. It gets funnier. So, and if you know my dad, you know that he's pretty straight about that kind of stuff. He was.
I don't want to know about.
Out of his mind, but very, very much only into like Bible sanctioned stuff in that department. You know. What I mean?
This is so disturbing.
So as the IMs go along, Kim starts to get kind of into this, and she thinks it's great.
Yeah.
She IMs back some pretty dirty stuff.
Uh-huh.
Also, this goes on all day, and it's getting pretty hot and heavy. And eventually, I say, "We'll get to do all this when I see you later tonight, Barbara."
Now, who's Barbara?
Barbara's nobody, but it made it seem like I was my dad IMing this other woman.
Now, why would you do that?
Because it's funny.
It's fun. Yeah, there's nothing under the surface here. No hostility.
Oh no. So Kim gets really confused, but she doesn't really demand to know what's happening. She plays it like she is Barbara, I guess, to see what Dad was up to.
Yeah.
So I start going into all this hilarious stuff about how my marriage is loveless and how I can't wait to get out of it and that I'm never going to pay a cent of spousal support.
You're saying this to his wife?
Yes.
This is the most hostile thing I've ever heard.
It was so funny. Anyway, she runs over to Radio Hut and she confronts my dad.
Uh-huh.
He has no idea what's happening. So she ends up moving out, and I, of course, end up consoling her. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
I really gave her a shoulder to cry on.
Ugh. That's
it's like, so what if that shoulder was underneath the sheets at the time?
That's so disgusting.
So I ended up marrying her, though.
You married your father's wife.
Yeah.
Wife number 5.
Exactly. Oh, he was mad.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
He tried to run me over with his van 7 times.
Uh-huh. This is just disturbing.
Oh, hey, we're about to close up. I got to get a confirmation from you. You going to buy these things?
Am I going to buy them?
Yeah.
I was never going to buy them.
Got you down for 3.
I was never going to buy these stupid
Writing out
things.
the invoice right now.
I've
got your Social Security number. So
I don't want to give them. I don't want to give them away. You were talking about me giving them away as prizes. I was never going to buy them. I don't even want to give them away, let alone buy them.
You've already bought them.
How have I bought them?
You just have. I've got your Social Security number logged in, and we're just waiting for it to process. And hey, if you don't buy these things,
yeah,
you don't want to know what's going to happen.
Give me an idea, because I'm not going to buy them.
Well, I'm going to hold you down.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to put the phones in your ear.
What phones?
The headphones.
The headphones from what? From the HutPod?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Maxi.
Yeah.
Which is basically a Pod 80 Portigetto painted white.
So it's just a boom box.
Yeah, with the headphones coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to blast this Streisand Cannibal Corpse mashup I've got going.
Well, good luck to you. I'm not buying them.
It's the main event with force-fed broken glass. Goes in and out of both tunes.
That actually sounds kind of interesting.
Oh, you know what's going to be really interesting?
What?
When I force-feed you broken glass if you don't buy this stuff.
Well, I'm not buying it.
You're buying it. It went through. Great.
I'm not buying
it. Good. Okay, I added the plan, 8-year plan, too.
8-year plan?
Yeah.
What's
not that you'll ever need it. This stuff is guaranteed.
It's a service plan? And how much does that cost?
Don't worry about it.
Well, if I'm paying
it's like $250.
$250 for a unit that costs how much?
Every 6 months for 8 years.
$250
mm-hmm.
every 6 months for
mm-hmm.
8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no thanks.
Well, you've got it.
I don't want it.
And I see here your credit card. You still have an extra $72 left on your account there.
I don't want it.
You got it.
So you're going to... No, get it. Stop it. I'll call the police on you.
You're not going to call the police, are you?
Sure I will.
Jeez, don't, please.
Start going through my credit card record.
Don't, please, please, please.
Well...
I'm actually wanted.
Geez, there's a shocker. All right. You disgust me.
I'm going to sell you to the quarry. I'm going to sell your family to the quarry.
Oh,
you don't back off. Don't call the cops, all right?
I thought you were disgusted by that.
It was actually my idea.
Oh, God.
I'm still doing it, so don't say anything, okay?
Okay, I won't tell anyone.
Do you have any well-built neighbors?
No.
You might be able to, lift some heavy rocks, because one of the bulldozers is stuck down there, what I've heard.
This is just gross. You are so disgusting.
No, I'm not. Come on.
Goodbye.
Let's go have a drink sometime.
No.
Come on.
I'm not hanging out with you.
You like wild turkey?
No, I don't.
Can you get me some?
God, you're sick.
Don't call me God. Oh.
I hate you.
Why?
Because you're a creep.
Let's hang. Come on.
No, I'm not hanging out with you.
I'm going to your place.
No, you're not.
I am too.
You are not.
I'm going to move there.
Stop it.
Come on, let's drink.
I'm not going to drink. You need to stop drinking.
Pardon me?
You sound completely unhinged.
Who does?
You!
Come on, let's party.
Stop. Goodbye.
Come on. What?
Oh, and he hung up on me somehow. Ugh. Oy. Huh.